Should your spouse be your best friend? It's a really complex problem, actually. As a guy, you should tell everything to your spouse. Yes, your wife, your husband should know everything about you. End of story. But there is a big but in this. You should not dump all your problems onto your significant other. What I mean by that is if you have a problem in life, think about it first. Think about the problem. Think about how you're going to frame it, how you're going to tell it to your significant other. Do you have a solution to the problem? Maybe it's a better idea to make a solution to the problem and say, hey, I got this problem. Like, hey, I know I'm going to be laid off in a month, but guess what? I've applied to 6 jobs already. You know, say that, you have a problem, but I have a fix for it already. That way you're not pushing the problem onto your spouse. So you always tell them. I know there's been horror stories from back in the day about guys that like lost their job and they then faked going to work every day. They were so ashamed about losing their job and their family and not telling their family everything. They didn't tell their family, and they got on the bus every day and hung out in the park and came back because they were too ashamed to tell their family. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Tell your spouse. Always tell your spouse what you're going through, but be careful. Tell them, yes, I'm going through this, but you know what? This is my solution. What do you think about it? Because two things with that. One, you're not putting the problem on their shoulders saying, hey, I got this problem, here you go. You're not doing that. You're showing them that, hey, you've come up with a solution to this problem, and you're asking for advice as to if that solution is a good idea or if it's a bad idea. So you're not pushing the problem onto somebody else. You can't do that. And secondly, you have to think about the problem, how serious it is. Don't keep it hidden forever. If you have a drinking problem or if you have a problem with drugs or whatever like that, just you can't keep that stuff hidden because your spouse is there to support you. Your spouse is there to help you. If your spouse does not know about these problems, he or she cannot help you. End of story. You have to have full transparency. But what I'm saying in this video is use your own brain first. Come up with some ideas first. Don't just say, hey, this happened. I have no clue what to do. Say, hey, this happened. I've done some research and I'm going to do this, 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 and this. What do you think about it? Also, admit the fact that you are not going to have all the answers. And don't expect your spouse to have all the answers as well. Say for example, you can't pay all the bills that month because your paycheck isn't that much. Your spouse does not have a money tree in the backyard they can pull some pesos or dollar bills off. Your spouse is not going to have any magical answer to that problem. Your magical answer is reducing the bills you have, or maybe not paying a few bills that month. Don't expect your spouse to come up with some magic to fix a problem. Ain't gonna happen. In fact, what's gonna happen if you expect that is you're gonna get an argument about stuff. And most arguments in a marriage, or most arguments in any relationship involve money. That's exactly why. It's not really about money, it's about expecting your spouse to find a solution that is impossible. If you need $10,000 next month and your paycheck is going to bring in $5,000 next month, that's an impossible solution because the math is not going to add up unless you go out and rob a bank. I don't recommend anybody does that. The math simply isn't there. If you send that problem over to your spouse is just going to hit a wall and say, what do you want me to do about it? Because that's the truth. It is a mathematical problem that nobody can fix. Don't push your problems onto other people without first proposing a solution. whatever the solution is. Say, hey, I need a lawyer for this. I need to, take the car to a repair shop, and I've shopped around. I've got cheaper prices for brakes or whatever. Just find your own solution, and it may take a few minutes or may take a few days before you push it onto your spouse. So you don't have to tell them right away, but tell them when you have come up with your own solution, so they know what's going on. They will feel more protected if you do that. They will not feel like you're just pushing problems onto them for no kind of reason. So your spouse should be a best friend, but it's with conditions. The condition is don't go over to them like your buddy and say, "Oh, I've got all these problems, blah 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 blah." Find your solutions before you approach your spouse with the problems.